Yo, what's going on? How y'all doing today? Welcome to another episode of Levitation and Sunday series. And my question today is, why you so sensitive? Look, some of y'all getting offended by me just asking the question. We all are equipped with emotions, but a lot of the times our emotions twist our perspective on things. It blinds us from the truth, and it can slow or stop our growth in a direction. Insecurities form because we're offended. Friendships have ended because we're offended. We have distanced ourselves away from certain family members because of our offense. Fights have occurred because we're offended. People's lives have been lost because we're offended. We have quit jobs because we're offended. We have ended relationships because we're offended. And what I consider the most detrimental effect of being offended is some of us even leave the faith. Our emotions can oftentimes stop something that was actually beneficial to us. But because our emotions get involved, we terminate that. Because most of us are sensitive and easily offendable, it stops the truth from being said. And all truth, every truth, is beneficial. But because of our sensitivity, sometimes the truth can't be said. Now some of y'all walking around here toe up because your friends can't tell you that your lace is showing. Your friends can't tell you that your foundation don't match your skin tone. Your friends can't tell you that you are a deadbeat father. Your friends can't tell you just because you provide income don't make you a man. Some of y'all might be getting offended right now, but it's the truth. We let other people walk around in their flaws because we're afraid or we don't want to offend them. I remember I was probably in the 3rd or 4th grade. One morning I woke up late, just getting ready, rushing to get to school. One of my partners, dang, Jaron, your breath kind of stink, boy. You need some gum or mint or something. But he said that while 2 girls had walked past. Man, I was so embarrassed. You know how when you embarrassed and you just feel hot? And I was offended. And you know how like when you offended, but you don't want to let nobody know that you're offended, so you kind of like laugh it off, like, and you crazy. It was my friend. In my mind, I'm thinking like, why he doing this all of a sudden? And I went to the bathroom. So I did a little breath test. Nah, maybe it's just my hands. So I washed my hands to make sure whatever scent that was on my hands was off. So I did it again. Oh, he's telling the truth. Breath was foul. How did I leave the house? Taught him out. Once I realized the truth, I was able to find a solution to the problem real quick. Well, I found a piece of gum. 2 pieces to be exact. Now he was telling the truth. He was actually offering information that I wasn't aware of. He was being a help. Because it was hurtful to my pride, I took offense to it rather than accepting the truth and trying to find a solution for it. Sometimes we don't want to hear the truth, but having friends and family around that are willing to be truthful is actually a blessing. Proverbs 27:6 says, "Wounds from a sincere friend are better than many kisses from an enemy." So what that's saying is sometimes the truth from friends is going to hurt your pride. But the truth is better than a yes man. Let's take this same concept and apply it biblically, right? In John chapter 8, verses 31 through 40. It's a good bit of scriptures, but read. That's some of y'all problem now. Y'all don't like to read. Don't get offended. But it says, Jesus said to the people who believed in him, "You are truly my disciples if you remain faithful to my teachings, and you will know the truth, and the truth will set you free." But we are descendants of Abraham, they said. We have never been slaves to anyone. What do you mean you will be set free? Jesus replied, "I tell you the truth, everyone who sins is a slave of sin. A slave is not a permanent member of the family, but a son is part of the family forever. So if the son sets you free, you are truly free." Yes, I realize that you are descendants of Abraham. And yet some of you are trying to kill me because there's no room in your hearts for my message. I am telling you what I saw when I was with my father, but you are following the advice of your father. Our father is Abraham, they declared. No, Jesus replied, "For if you were really the children of Abraham, you will follow his example. Instead, you are trying to kill me because I told you the truth, which I heard from God. Abraham never did such a thing." See, they couldn't get the truth that Jesus was trying to give because they thought he was insinuating that they were slaves. But they got offended because their pride was attached to their culture. And they felt that their culture and their heritage was at risk. And so that gave them a reason to try and defend it. But they didn't realize Jesus was from the same culture and heritage you're trying to defend. But their emotions and their sensitivity and their pride stopped them from being able to receive the truth that Jesus was trying to give. And because they couldn't receive the truth and they were so offended, it caused some of them to want to put him to death. So we get that we can be offended. And we get that in our offenses sometimes blinds us from receiving and accepting the truth. But scripture gives us ways to be able to handle offenses. Matthew 18:15 says, if another believer sins against you, go privately and point out the offense. If the other person listens and confesses it, you have won that person back. If you feel offended by anybody, go directly to that person privately, but go to that person and tell them how you feel. If it's done in a loving way, that person should be able to see their errors, or you may get that that person wasn't even trying to offend you and that your offense was unwarranted. Through conversation, you'll come to an understanding of each other's perspective. And it's important to do this quickly, because if you let it linger too long, if you let your offenses or you let your emotions linger too long, it can grow and develop in something bigger than the actual problem. Another scripture, Colossians 3:13. Make allowances for each other's faults and forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Look, we can't control what people do, what people say, and we can't control how they do and how they say it. But we can control our reactions and our emotions. We miss out on so much understanding and knowledge and growth of ourselves because we let offense blind us from the truth. When truth is the thing that can set you free. A lot of our freedom from the situations and the problems that we're in can come from the truth, but because we're not receptive and we don't want to hear the truth, we'll never get free. The reason why some of us are not financially stable is because we're financially irresponsible. That's the truth. The reason why some of y'all are overweight is because you're lazy. It's the truth. The reason why some of us don't have the relationship that we desire with God is because we're not doing what we need to do. And we can tell ourselves that we are all we want, but the truth is the truth. So let's not take offense to everything. Let's not depend on our emotions to determine how we feel about things. So why are you so sensitive? Your emotions could be stopping your freedom. This is Levitation, where we're reaching our highest potential. Stay blessed.